Hi everybody. So I've been trying something new today and I didn't think I'd actually have to do this, but okay. There are some times when the video doesn't record the way I want. So but the apparently some kind of video saves it. So now I'm just reusing old ideas and filling them in. So I hope people watch these and actually watch it because it's not going to be about what I said originally. I mean, it might be, but it might go off the rails a bit just because of, yeah. Okay, so, and I'm kind of glad I'm doing another video because I really wanted to. I have some thoughts, but I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to do it. So now I'm gonna have to do another thing, which is just do these videos when I can, and when the opportunity presents itself. So that's what I'm gonna do for a couple of days until hopefully the situation gets better. Okay, so because the title for this is upcoming events, I'm gonna go with a little bit in the soap direction and a little bit in other directions. Okay, so for soaps, I'm gonna do I Hope, another I Hope video. Um, as I've said before, I'm just a regular watcher of soap operas. I started with ABC when I was growing up. My mom, uh, my mom and my dad split up when I was 13. So my mom used to sit me down in front of the TV after I got home from school and say, watch these soap operas. And before and kind of during, I would do my homework, and or I might do my homework a little bit after, but not too much after that. Okay, so it's kind of funny that I feel like I got an education in soaps and stuff at a really early age, and I had no idea that it would turn into what I do now. Not a clue. But I happen to have a very like a mind like an elephant, so I remember everything I've ever heard to a degree and or seen. So even when I was little, I used to remember watching Luke and Laura, you know, back in the good days when they were actually happy and everything. And with Lucky and their son and everybody else. Bobby, uh, the wonderful Jackie Zeman, who we lost, and also Monica Quartermain and the Quartermains, which we just lost Leslie Charleston too. Um, so I remember all these people, and they kind of felt like family members. Okay, now flash forward to now, as of um, really 2 years ago, definitely every day on the daily, I'm watching the soap operas on CBS. And I only switched because now all my children and One Life to Live are defunct. So the only choices we have now are CBS pretty much and General Hospital still on ABC. Um, But now we have a new soap opera, which, to be honest, I did watch a little bit of it, and it just didn't grab my attention. And like I said before, I think in a previous video, I'm going to give it a week, so 4 more days. But if it doesn't grab my attention by then, I'm just going to continue watching the two I do and really do detailed recaps on those. Okay, so focusing on the two I do watch, YNR, I don't know. I'm glad it's kind of a good and bad because I'm glad they added more people to the cast because I think they really needed it. However, if they don't utilize them, what was the point? And also, I feel like they need to utilize the talent they already have. Okay, and this is another point I wanted to bring up earlier and really flesh it out. Okay, so for the longest time, I've been talking about how they don't show Crystal Khalil, which is Lily, and Bryton James, who plays Devon. Now, I'm going to focus on Bryton James only because right after I said about Lily, they started showing Lily again. Because this is the way I viewed it. They had her front and center, and then the Newmans did whatever they wanted. And then she was kind of off the canvas for a bit, to the point where I thought she just wasn't there anymore or was back in another country or like France or something with her kids. You know, I didn't know. And now she's front and center again, kind of. But Devon has not been there for a while now. Ever since he and Abby got married, okay, they got married, went on the honeymoon, came back from the honeymoon, and just went poof. And I mean both of them, Melissa Ordway and Bryton James. And the point of Bryton James is he's supposed to be an elite character now. So most times, if you're lead, that means they focus on you a lot. And they're not doing it. Why aren't they doing it? He has a successful company. He's working with his family. He's married now. They have their kid. The kid is cute. They got storyline. They could have storyline. But for some reason, the writers aren't writing for them. And I don't know why. But I can tell you one thing. I don't like it. Because it's like, what's the point? I don't know why you're not writing for them. And I don't like to see a person who's supposed to be lead turn into supporting because you don't write for them. Because I can see it happening. Okay? You're writing for Nate and Damien and Holden now. Okay? And for Nate and Damien, Devon is kind of related. Alright? But I can see them turning him into a background character. And it's not right. Bryton James has paid his dues. He deserves lead writing. Okay, going on to, and then also, which I forgot this in the first YNR video. I'm sorry. But okay, another couple that's probably going to happen again is Chelsea and Adam. Now, usually I would say I don't really care for partners that have been partners before, only because I am of the firm belief, and in my own personal life, which is once something is done, it's done. There's no going back. Unless, the only unless is one or both sides has done some major work on themselves, and I mean counseling, therapy, that kind of stuff, and or had a life altering epiphany that made them think about and totally change the way they see everything and the way they deal with stuff. That's the only reason I might go back to an X. Otherwise, no. Um, so unless they plan on doing something completely different with the relationship between Chelsea and Adam, I don't see it lasting longer than a couple of months. And then the fallout is going to be they're going to be unhappy again, like they were when they broke up the first time. So I don't know. Although their son Connor is like really nice. I like that. Well, I like it for two reasons. He seems to be really good, and he seems to be a really good actor, and they seem to really focus on the OCD and helping him with it. And I appreciate that because you don't understand. Back in the days when I was talking about in the beginning, they didn't talk about mental health that much. The only topics they really discussed were um, at that point it was called multiple personality disorder, and they made the character look like or act like they were nuts. Like okay, Erica Slezak. I don't know if you guys remember. Some people might be younger, so okay, I'll give you a short bio. Erica Slezak played Victoria Lord Davidson, and she was like an Erica Kane in the fact that she got married a bunch of times, so her name was like really, really long. Okay, but my point is, her main character was Vicky. Vicky was really, really smart, really serious, business minded. You know, you couldn't pull anything over on her, that kind of thing. And then somewhere along the line, I don't remember when exactly, but then somebody wrote the character of Nikki. Okay? Nikki was a wild type. She drank, she smoked, she cursed. Everything Vicky wasn't, Nikki was. Okay, so you have to picture this. I was really young, so at the time I thought it was fun. Now I understand how it works, and it's not so good. Okay, multiple personality disorder or multi what do they call it now? Like the many sides of somebody happens when you've had trauma in childhood. It only happens if you've had trauma. So it's not a good thing. But I didn't know that until literally maybe, I don't know, 10 years ago. And they really focused on it and like to where I understood it a couple of years ago. So, yeah. So, okay. So the fact that they're talking about OCD and so openly now is a total shift in the way that they deal with mental wellness. Totally different. And depression and bipolar and all that stuff, yeah, it's talked about now. It was not talked about for a long time at all. You dealt with that stuff in the closet. You didn't talk about it. So yeah. So I like that angle of it. So I want them to continue with that. And I like the way that which I think I've talked about this before a little bit, but I like the character of Victor Newman sometimes because Eric Braeden really takes younger actors under his wing and really helps them out. And I can always tell when he likes somebody a lot because whenever he's in a scene with the actor who plays Connor, He's really nice to him. I mean, like, really cool. And the same with Haley Aaron, who plays Claire. He really likes working with her because he's always like, "Hi, sweetheart," and they always like share a kiss on the cheek, that kind of thing. So that's when I know he really likes somebody. Plus, his kids, uh, Nick and Victoria. So yeah. Um. Okay. So yeah, that's what I went with that. Okay. Uh, for Sharon, now this is another case of I think lazy writing to an extent because Sharon was written as a really good girl, nice girl, and from the wrong side of the tracks though. So when she fell in love with Nick back in the day in 1994, when they came out, when they started together, um, uh, Nikki, the character of Nikki, did not like her at all. And to be honest, even to this day, I can feel the animosity between the characters. Now, the relationship between Sharon Case and Melody Thomas Scott completely different. So I want to be totally clear about that. But their characters have this hint of animosity in there. Okay, so what I want for Sharon is, can you please get her out of these things where she's always in trouble and like the damsel in distress? Please? And can you give her like a real storyline and maybe a personal life that works out? I mean, how long has it been since the whatever of Ray? Uh, at least 3 years now? At least. Okay, it's about time she had another relationship. And no, I don't mean with Nick. And the only reason I'm so opposed to the relationship with Nick is because, once again, I've seen it. I've seen it a lot. They go back and forth, and they never stay. And and also, when they break up for stupid reasons. So no. Um, Jack and Jack and Diane. Although it's a fun couple because of and I know I've talked about this a little bit before, but whenever I think of that couple, I think of the song by John Mellencamp. When he used to go by John Cougar Mellencamp, Jack and Diane was a very popular song, and so I always think of that. But I'm sorry, these actors are really good. I'm not gonna fault them for that. But I just don't see the relationship between the two of them. I don't. I see him have more chemistry with maybe Phyllis or somebody. I don't see it with Diane. I don't know. I can't put my finger on it. But I was like, no. Whenever whenever I was like, okay, they're gonna get together, no, I can't see it. Mm. Okay, those are a couple of thoughts. Uh, let's see. For bold, um, okay, well, this is another interesting thing too, which I saw today. I saw Carter, which I talked about before, but I didn't see Annika, Noel, Hope, and I wonder why. As soon as I don't see part of the couple, I want to know why. Because I go back to what Matthew Atkinson said in an interview. Anything a soap opera does is on purpose. Anything. Okay? So whatever you see in a scene, there's a reason for it. The dialogue, there's a reason for it. So there's a reason Hope is not there. The question is, what? What's the reason? Why? Don't know. That's an empty spot in my brain. Maybe we'll get some answers this week. Or maybe they're trying to break them up. And if they break them up, I will be mad. First, I'll be mad, and then I'll be sad. You know why? Because for the umpteenth freaking time, they've tried to have an interracial couple, and it hasn't worked out. I wonder why. That's all I'm saying about that. Okay, bye everybody.